we know that one of the biggest challenges that potential franchise buyers have is finding good opportunities and getting overwhelmed and stuck and finding franchises. We do this just to be transparent, share with you different numbers and opportunities out there with the intention that, hey, if you are interested in a franchise overall, that the first people you would come to if you wanted to go down the process of looking at franchises is our team at Franchise Empire. So the ideal owner for this specific opportunity is someone who's at the end of the day, you'll be running a customer service business that happens to be exceptional at repairing appliances. It just shows people that say franchising, it's buying a job. Tell me what job you can leave and sell your job back to your employer for $1.5 million. Please, I'll wait. Welcome to our Franchise Empire newsletter, where we highlight one franchise of the week as well as one franchise resale that is listed for sale somewhere in the United States. If you want to get these franchises in your inbox every single week to read at your convenience, you can go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter to subscribe for free. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Franchise Empire Show. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, and building your empire doesn't happen overnight. My name is Tarek Johnson, and owning franchises is what helped me go from employee to employer and start building my empire for my family. So this podcast is for you, the empire builders. For those of you who want to build something that stands the test of time. This is for those of you who are crazy enough to believe that you can make the dream in your head come to life. This podcast is all about bringing you real people who are building real empires so you can get inside their mind and heart and get proven strategies and actionable insights that will catapult you to build, grow, and scale your empire. Today, we're going to talk about, we've got a restoration franchise that shows $5.8 million in average sales. This is for franchisees that have been open at least 2 years. We'll dive into the ones that have been open less than 2 years. That average is 2.4 million. We'll dive into a resale in North Carolina that shows sales of $740,000 in 2023. We'll talk about a former director of operations who bought an outdoor living franchise. And we'll also talk about a couple who became top franchisees in less than 12 months. By the way, thank you for your patience today. We got started 15 minutes late on the live. So my apologies for those of you who were waiting. We're actually going to move this live. We've typically always done it at 1 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. Starting next week, we will be doing this at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. I have a team meeting right before this, and that team meeting always tends to go a little bit over. So this is going to flow and work out a little bit better. So we're going to do this on Wednesdays. So for those of you who maybe don't get the emails, make sure you go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter, and you'll get this whole thing in your inbox Sundays at 8 a.m. so you can go through it at your own leisure and see what's going on there. All right, so let's dive in. The featured resale is Mr. Appliance, which is a franchise brand within the Neighborly parent company. If you aren't familiar with Neighborly, Neighborly is the largest home services franchisor in the United States. They have over 20 different brands. And by the way, if you're new and watching this, my name is Tarek Johnson. I'm the founder and CEO of Franchise Empire. And every week, we put out this newsletter, and then we do this live video breakdown to just share different franchise opportunities because we know that one of the biggest challenges that potential franchise buyers have is finding good opportunities and getting overwhelmed and stuck and, finding franchises. So we do this just to be transparent, share with you different numbers and opportunities out there with the intention that, hey, if you are interested in a franchise overall, that the first people you would come to if you wanted to go down the process of looking at franchises is our team at Franchise Empire. So with that said, Mr. Appliance was established in 1996. They have 325 franchise units around the U.S. and Canada. They are the largest residential and commercial appliance repair franchise in the industry. This specific franchise opportunity is in the area of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas. It was started in July 2021. It's got an asking price of $550,000. They have 2023 revenue of $742,000. I'm sure you want to know, well, what have they done so far for 2024? We were not provided that data, but for those of you who are in the area or interested in this opportunity, I'll send you the next steps of how to submit your info if you want to get the updated financials for this resale. Oh, I'm sorry. It says year-to-date sales of $742,000. So apparently we do have access. That doesn't seem right that both of those numbers are the same. So our team will be able to verify that for you if you're interested in this specific opportunity and schedule a conversation about that. And let me pop that up here. There we go. So if you're interested in learning more about this resale and getting introduced to the owners to get the updated financials, go to franchiseempire.com/resales. You'll submit your info, and then you will schedule a brief meeting with our team. If you're interested in resales in general and just want to know what resales are available in your area, you can also go to that link. There are 3 specific territories included in this sale. Those would be these 3 areas. All right. This has technicians and support staff in place. The owners are motivated to sell. They're relocating out of state. What's our take on this? So Mr. Appliance is a neighborly brand, which opens up opportunities for cross-marketing benefits, and they also provide some lead generation support. Pretty cool. We've had a number of clients buy neighborly franchise brands, and overall, we've gotten really positive feedback. So the ideal owner for this specific opportunity is someone who's a people person. At the end of the day, you'll be running a customer service business that happens to be exceptional at repairing appliances. So as a Mr. Appliance owner, you'll need to lead this charge, creating a customer service infrastructure and culture that stands out in your community. That makes sense, right? If you have someone come over to do service on something in your home, you want to have a good experience. And, if you're able to consistently provide a good experience, you'll get good reviews. I mean, how many of you actually look at reviews before you hire a company or before you have them dispatched out to your house? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments, by the way. Oh, and if you have questions, in general about franchising or about any of these things, drop me your questions in the comments and we will dive into those at the end. But this is a high volume logistics type of business. According to the FDD, the franchise disclosure document, the average job size is about $260 across reported franchise units. So again, if you are interested in learning more about this resale, or if you just want to find out what resales may be available in your area, go to franchiseempire.com/resales, franchiseempire.com/resales. And I will also copy a link to that. So our team have looked into a few hundred franchises and put together a list of 5 low-cost franchises that all make $1 million or more and that have a proven track record of both happy and profitable franchisees. So if you have a net worth of at least $150,000 and you want to see if the territory that you want is still available for any of these franchises, then you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. All right, let's get back to the episode. Okay, let's keep it moving. Yeah, Dusty said most all the time I check reviews. Yeah, me too. It's definitely something that I do as well. So super important. Okay. All right. Quick client case study. So Mike was a client that we helped. He was a director of operations for a dental supply company. And when he came to us, he was really motivated to get into business for himself, but he didn't realize there were so many different franchises out there other than food and beverage. So trying to find the right fit on his own was going to be really overwhelming. It's the number one piece of feedback that we get from people when they're reaching out to, have a consultation with us. The number one feedback is like, gosh, there's so many options. It's so overwhelming to like, what is the right fit? I don't even know what would be good, what makes money, what's even available in my area. So similar deal with Mike. And so he started working with our team. Our team was able to go out there, meet with Mike, understand his skill sets, understand his financials of like what he would even qualify, check to see what franchises were available in his area. And Mike ended up joining an outdoor renovation franchise that our team found for him because he just had an interest in outdoor living spaces. And the financials in the FDD were solid, meaning like what that franchise showed that other franchise owners were making in that system. And he was really impressed with the team and just the validation process in general. So kudos to Mike. Congratulations. Really, really exciting. And yeah, it would just get rid of all that overwhelm. By the way, for those of you, who, if you want to know like what franchises are available in your area, um, and just have a conversation about that with our team and get that process started, you can start for free in your conversation. You go to franchiseempire.com/, check territory. And I'll put the little slider actually at the bottom. There we go. So you can see it at the bottom. And I also dropped the link too. You go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Hey, so if you want to figure out if you should buy a franchise and learn the fastest and easiest way to figuring out the best franchise to buy and everything you need to know about the process, then you'll want to go get access to our Franchise Buyers Academy. In our Franchise Buyers Academy, you'll get a behind the scenes look into specific franchises and exactly how much money they are making. You'll get simple formulas for finding money-making franchises and a blueprint on how to scale them into a franchise empire that can be sold for a lot of money later on. You'll be able to finally answer the question on, should I buy a franchise? Now you can get access at franchiseempire.com/FBA. Now let's get back to the episode. Okay, franchise of the week. Happy birthday, Autumn. Happy birthday. Franchise of the week is a company called Paul Davis. They were founded, we'll talk about what they are. They were founded in 1967, started franchising in 1970. Wow. They changed their name in 2000, and they do have a parent company, and they do have locations in Canada as well. Sometimes we do have people in Canada that reach out, and they're like, hey, can you help us too? We do have access to a number of quality franchisors that are in Canada. But a little bit about this company, Paul Davis. They have 245 franchise units. The franchise fee ranges from $57,500 to $184,000. That's because it's based on population at 23 cents per person. Very interesting. Royalty is 4%. National marketing fee is 0.5% to 1%. This one is a meteor startup cost ranging between $285,000 to $737,000. What's interesting is they only have a 5-year term. Usually it's a 10-year franchise agreement term. So I'm curious what the renewal fees are, although I do not have that information right here readily available. But basically, Paul Davis offers structural reconstruction and emergency services. Basically, they're like a fire, mold, and water remediation company. So drying, cleaning, loss mitigation, mold remediation of residential and commercial structures and contents. You will assess the damage and provide cleanup and repairs and help homeowners and business navigate insurance claims. So as an example, for all, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm sure you guys have seen the 2 different hurricanes that have come over the last month in Florida, causing just devastation, and in North Carolina. Companies like this, like Paul Davis, are the ones who go in and help repair. When you see the videos of people that have 2-3 feet of water in their house, and you're wondering how in the world, like what happens? Do they have to tear down the house? Can they ever live in it again? What happens is companies like Paul Davis go in and you file your insurance claim, and they go in and they rip down all the walls and do whatever needs to happen to restore your home. So that's what these companies do, which is why you'll see the average sales are so high. Fire and water restoration businesses, they can have some really big tickets in terms of some of these claims with homes can be significant. I think we had water damage when we lived in California. How much did the claim wind up being? It was like I think it was like a $60,000 or $70,000 insurance claim is what it wound up being that we had. I mean, they had to rip open walls and rebuild walls, and it was significant. So again, the goal is to restore properties to their pre-damage condition. The owner is the CEO. So your role would be to manage 3 key employees: office manager, mitigation manager, and construction and project manager. Let's talk some financials. So there were 177 franchisees that reported, and median sales for franchisees open at least 2 years, just over 4 million. Average sales per franchise, 5.8 million. Those are for people open at least 2 years. I'm guessing some of these franchises are pretty mature. It says open at least 2 years, but I'm sure there's the numbers are probably heavily skewed by people who've been in business 5 or 10 or 15 years potentially, because this franchise has been around for so long. But when we look at the numbers for businesses that have been open less than 2 years, they're still impressive. So there's 36 franchises that have been open less than 2 years. Median sales 1.4 million. Average sales 2.4 million for operation less than 2 years. That's wild. Those are crazy numbers to be doing when you're in operation less than 2 years. And what's cool is that they show what some of their resale valuations were during 2023. So they had some of their franchises sell for as high as 1.7 million, as low as 185,000. And you can get a sense of what they sold for based on their sales in the prior 12 months. So for folks doing 3 million a year, the prior 12 months, they sold for $1.5 million. Pretty cool. It just shows people that say franchising, it's buying a job. Tell me what job you can leave and sell your job back to your employer for 1.5 million. Please. I'll wait. Exactly. So benefits for the franchisee: large territories. Territories are typically 500, 800,000 people. But again, you're going to pay for that, right? So their franchise fee is based on population. So you may have a huge territory, but you're going to pay a higher franchise fee, which is fine, right? At least for me, I'd be fine with that. They have a very transparent item 19. So item 19 is some of what we just went through here. Our team just screenshots the basic parts of it. So there's more to the item 19 than what we have screenshotted here. So they disclose locations, populations, open dates, and gross sales for every single location. They also have resale data, which we've never seen before. Yeah, the fact that they show what their franchisees sell for when they sell is pretty cool. That's pretty amazing. They have the lowest royalties than any other home services franchise at 4% royalty. So they have high average sales, but also lower percentage of royalty, which is pretty cool. Again, for those of you guys, if you're interested in this franchise, there's not going to be a lot of territories left because they've been around so long. But if you want to see if your territory is available, or if we have access to any resales, go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. What's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to set up a free call with our team. They have a national account, so they have contracts with many of the largest insurance carriers in the U.S., which gives you a steady lead source of clients. And of course, they're recession resistant. I got a lot of questions on, hey, what are good recession resistant franchises, recession proof? Look, at the end of the day, if someone has water damage, I was just in a car. I was out of town at a conference. Took an Uber back home on Saturday. Uber driver, he asked what I do, talking about franchises, all this stuff. We got talking about fire and water restoration companies. He said, "Oh yeah, I had this pipe leak, and it was a $90,000 claim. They actually had the insurance company paid for them to live somewhere for about a month while all of the work was being done." And so this is something where it's that losses are going to happen. People are going to have to file their claims and get it figured out, whether they like it or not, whether it's a recession or not. And losses occur 24/7, 365 days a year. By the way, if Paul Davis doesn't have your territory available when we check, we know of our team at Franchise Empire, of many other fire and water restoration franchise brands that may have your territory available. So definitely make sure to, go fill that out if this specific niche is something that you're interested in. Okay. All right. Last but not least, the most recent episode of the Franchise Empire show was with two more of our clients. You guys are seeing a theme here. We're starting to do more and more podcast episodes with previous clients who have bought franchises and are now franchisees, because what better than to hear from someone who was in the situation that you're in now, or was in your shoes of thinking about buying a franchise, had doubts. Should I do it? Do I want to buy a franchise? What are the pros and cons? What are the mistakes I should avoid? How do I get off to a fast start and be successful with this? And so we're doing more and more podcast episodes with clients. So Maya and Tyree, they're considered top performers in their franchise as they enter their 1-year anniversary. They've gotten off to a very fast start. They're both very successful in the professional and corporate world, and they just really wanted to build something that they could call their own business. And now, just 12 months later, they're seeing outstanding results, especially for just being 1 year into their business. The crazy part, by the way, is that they still both kept their jobs. They're building their business while keeping their jobs, which is not typically what I recommend. I think you give yourself the best potential to get off to the best start being full time, but they're making it work. And so go check out that episode. They reveal a lot. They share how they're doing it, how they're getting off to a fast start. They reveal that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. They talk about some of their challenges, how they manage their family time, and 2 full-time jobs. So go look up Franchise Empire, the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see that episode on there. You'll be able to see that episode. So look up Franchise Empire YouTube channel. It's a different YouTube channel than my main Tarek Johnson channel. And then if you just click the button for most recent, or I think it says latest, you'll see the episode with them, the full episode. Or if you're someone who likes to listen to audio podcast, we're on every major podcast platform: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff. Go look up the Franchise Empire show, and you'll be able to listen to that podcast episode. All right. So I don't see any actual questions. By the way, if you got value out of this video and you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor and just hit the like button. Hit the like button to the video. It helps YouTube show the video to more and more people. So please hit the like button. If you're watching, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. We put out this information to you for free. Takes us a lot of time. Takes us multiple hours, by the way, every week to put this newsletter together. So a great thank you that would be appreciated is just hitting the like button. And so, yeah, no questions. All right, guys, you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care. Hey, before we go, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't already. And the biggest thank you that you could ever give me is to share this episode with someone who you think will benefit. That means that we can share this message with more people and hopefully positively inspire them like we have you. So thank you. And until next time, go build your empire.